What is up, Knicks fans? Coming at you with another video talking about the Knicks. So let's talk Knicks. Let's get into it.
Right, that would be very.
This is Malika Andrews calls out the Knicks for not allowing the media to ask questions yesterday. I mean, I understand why the media would be mad about the media can't go into and ask questions, but as Knicks fan and the Knicks organization, they've seen multiple times where they get attacked by multiple, and there's a whole thing with Brunson in the investigation. So having them at the Brunson meeting, they're constantly gonna berate and talk, asking questions about, oh, when did they ask you this and that. They're protecting themselves. The Knicks are protecting themselves in that situation. I think if they do the Donovan Mitchell trade and get Donovan Mitchell to New York, they definitely will have a press conference and allow the media to be there all they want, because it won't be no investigation, right? So I think Knicks are protecting themselves and allowing themselves to be free of any slip-ups, because they can be a slip-up. They can say, oh, it happened around the game playoffs, right? It happened around game 2. He came to me and spoke to me, or something like that, something to that effect, or like a week before free agency opens. Knicks are protecting themselves in that respect, and even so, the Knicks are constantly getting attacked by the media in any way, shape, or form. They were shitting on the Knicks for getting Brunson. In general, they were like, really? And now you say Brunson thing is good, and now you want to ask him questions and everything. No, let the Knicks be the Knicks. Let them do what they want to do. They're running a tight ship. They're a private. Leon Rose is private anyway, so, and he gave them questions to ask this dude. Fine, let them be them. All right, they're doing things different, right? So just because you guys and your colleagues wasn't allowed there, you didn't want to ask the questions you wanted to ask, and you're gonna be able to ask questions like that later on. You're gonna be able to do that at some point. Allow this dude to enjoy life while becoming a Knick, becoming a new member of the Knicks, right? So and that's what they did. They protected him. They protected themselves, because that's family. Leon Rose is family with them. And yes, they probably spoke way before on free agency, saying, "Yo, you want to do this, that, and you're gonna get this much and shit." But bro, let them be them.
Clear, Donovan has not demanded a trade from Utah, but as our Adrian Wojnarowski reported, teams including the Knicks are trying to engage the Jazz in talks for the star guard. Of course, I said a fan event yesterday for Jalen Brunson because there were no reporters who were invited or allowed to be in there, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so Jalen Brunson could not be asked about the potential for who else he likes to see around him, or who he would like to see be on this roster for the start of the season, because there was no media there to hold those folks accountable. So I guess I'll start with you here, Dave.
Celtics fans laughing.
Hang on.
Isn't that the Knick thing?
That is the Knicks thing. It doesn't make it an acceptable thing.
See? Yeah.
Mad.
Why
But Dave,
mad, bro?
I'm going to put that over here for a second.
You should have said we should have been allowed, but Knicks did this in a potential thing to protect themselves from any investigation and a potential slip-up by a question from the media, right? They're protecting themselves, so I'm not mad at that. Y'all can be mad all y'all want media. Knicks don't care. They're doing their thing. They're moving forward. They're trying to do what they want to do. So Knicks fan and Malika Andrews trying to look out for her colleagues, right? Her colleagues that was mad. Oh, we didn't get to ask questions, bro. You mad? You mad? Donovan Mitchell not pushing trade. And like I said, if Donovan Mitchell gets traded there, they're having a press conference. They're gonna allow you to ask questions, whatever question you want. So, and that's because who's under investigation? What's under investigation? The Brunson thing or Donovan Mitchell? Obviously. So they're trying to protect themselves. I'm not mad at that. Excuse me. Not pursuing the trade. It's fine though. He knows that he's getting traded anyway, so why ask when they're already shopping him around? D Rose wants to get his morning coffee. Alright, Danny Ainge wanted to say, yeah, look. 7 of the Knicks' first round picks. I mean, unless you put less players in there, then yeah, I will give you 7-round picks. But other than that, Knicks haven't featured an offensive talent like caliber since Carmelo Anthony. That's true. That's absolutely true. Since Carmelo, we wouldn't have had somebody like a Donovan Mitchell. But that's if we get Donovan Mitchell in general. But since Melo, we don't have somebody of that caliber. Offensively, at least. My intel has been the Knicks are trying to do this, only surrendering 4 or 5 first. I'll put 7 if they allow me to keep. Stein said, but someone I trust told me today that they think that Danny Ainge was going for 7 of the 8 first-round picks. See, like I told you, I'll be fine with giving up 7 as long as I can keep Obi and quickly. I'll give up Grimes and McBride, Fournier and Cam. I'll give that up. And these guys, they want young players. They want 2 of the 3 like quickly, Obi and Grimes. They want 2 of those, and Cam and picks, 7 picks and 6 picks, 7 picks. No, less for more players. Or more players for less picks, something like that. It's not on you. We're the ones that's, I believe. Yes, as much as Utah is in the driver's seat, I think we're more in the driver's seat. This is an article from Ian Begley, is it? Yeah, Ian Begley, NBA Insider, what a trade package for Donovan Mitchell could look like, plus Brunson fan reason to be excited on Tuesday. Okay. Brunson gives fans reason to. Alright, I'm just going to skip all this and put the picks that it would take. New York can send 8 first-round picks in a trade. They can send 4 of their own and 4 future or first-round picks they've received from other teams. They can send Utah 4 unprotected of their own. I will put protections on at least 2 of those. The highest 2023 pick, protected pick they could send of Utah is a pick from Dallas. That's a protected 1 to 10. They have 2 other protected 2023 first-round picks and 1 protected 2025 pick. See, these are the picks that they're allowed to send away. I will protect 2 of those picks if they allow me to keep Obi and quickly together. I will unprotect 2 of those picks and protect the 2. Yeah, maybe 3. But this is what I'm saying, like, because you have to pay to play if you want Donovan. It becomes an issue with other things defensively if you have him, but you have to. If you want the offense to be the offense, like top 10 offense, almost top 5 offense, you're gonna have to pay a lot. Mitchell makes $30 million, so the Knicks the Knicks will need to send a minimum of $24 million. Mitchell has a 15% trade kicker, who points out, so the numbers assume that. Whatever. Again, I'm taking Barrett and Randall out of the equation, obviously, because they don't want Randall, and Barrett's due for an extension, so they don't want that either. If you don't include Barrett or Randall, the Knicks would need to have either Derrick Rose or Fournier. I'd rather keep Derrick Rose, but if things become redundant, if you feel things are too redundant, give up with Derrick Rose. It's all up to what the front office feels, and I know you want quickly as that point guard, so maybe you do give up with Derrick Rose. And Fournier could be that shooting guard. That's better. That's kind of better, to be honest. As much as Derrick Rose and quickly works good together. You can make both, but that wouldn't make sense for Jazz kids because they want young players as well and expiring contracts or much more manageable contracts. As a team option. See, yeah, you got 2 years, but one of them is a team option. For the next year, Rose has 2 this year and then another year, but other years a team option, so they can technically just drop that, take away that, say nope, we don't want you back next year. So basically that's an expiring contract. Whereas this one you have 2 years for sure, and then a team option for the last one. Still got 3 years to do. So they probably would run Rose. And to be honest, Fournier probably works with this team that we have. If we get Donovan Mitchell better, especially coming off the bench, I think he would be. That's the best role for Fournier anyway, coming off the bench, especially if he has quickly coming up and they play fast. If Obi's still there, see now there's a whole other thing. If we get Donovan Mitchell, there's a whole thing that we want. They say that we will want to trade Randall. I don't know. I think that's a good idea because you got 4 ball dominant guys, high usage guys in the starting lineup. How would you make that work? Unless you stagger them, but even so, I don't know. I don't think. But who's gonna pick him up? And that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem there. Who's gonna want to the whole thing with LA? Would LA want him? I don't think LA wants him. 4 years left, and they've been trying to clear up a lot of cap space for next year. I don't think they want him. So there's a whole dilemma right there. But I think you have to get Donovan. At this point, I was so on the fence about Donovan. I was kind of on the fence about Brunson. I looked at the bright side of what Brunson brings us, though, so it's good. Donovan, I didn't like the defensive fit, but the offensive fit is there, like 100%. Being the main guy with Brunson, see, I think Brunson's better as a secondary. And then if you trade Randall, RJ your third, especially if he makes that jump, a great third. Knicks have a lot of work to do, but you got 2 months to do it. So take your time, don't rush anything. Nobody else is gonna give what you gonna give, and people are mad because we want to do things our way. They mad, let them be mad. I ain't Knicks fan. Check you later.